My sister-in-law mocked my pregnancy, demanded to know the names I picked for my twins, and then tried to steal them. But I set a trap she never saw coming, and what followed was beyond anything I could have imagined. My name is Leah. I'm 32 years old, and I've been married to Jack, who's 34, for 4 years. We have a sweet 3-year-old son, and right now, I'm expecting twins, a boy and a girl. This story is about family, jealousy, and the kind of pettiness that can destroy relationships. Let me introduce the other main characters. Jack has an older brother, Tony, who's 40, and Tony's wife, Miranda, who's 36. They've been married for 7 years. Now, Miranda and I could not be more different. She's a loud, outspoken type who has to be the center of attention at every family gathering. She always has an opinion on everything, whether you ask for it or not. I, on the other hand, am much quieter. I prefer observing people rather than being the loudest in the room. When Jack first introduced me to his family, I actually told him, "Look, Miranda and I will never be close friends." I just knew it. And over the years, I was right. We've kept things polite but distant. The real trouble began 3 years ago, during my first pregnancy. Miranda and Tony had been trying to have kids for years without success, and I think my pregnancy triggered something in her. Whenever someone brought up my pregnancy at family dinners, Miranda would roll her eyes, change the subject, or make dismissive comments like, "Well, pregnancy isn't that special. Millions of women go through it every day." She'd then excuse herself to the bathroom for long stretches, leaving the table in awkward silence. Then, out of nowhere, she offered to plan my baby's shower. I politely declined, telling her my mom and sister were already handling it, but she wouldn't let it go. For weeks, she kept insisting, until I finally had to be blunt and tell her I didn't want her involved. And that's when her strangest obsession began. When we revealed we were having a son, Miranda suddenly became fixated on our baby's name. Every family dinner, every phone call, every text, she'd ask, "So, what's the name? Come on, just tell me." Jack and I had already decided not to share the name until after birth, but she got angry about that. She accused us of being secretive, as if we were keeping some huge scandal from her. When our son was finally born and we introduced him with his name, a traditional Irish name that was rare in our area, Miranda suddenly switched gears. She couldn't stop gushing about how unique and beautiful the name was. Every chance she got, she'd say, "Oh my God, that name is perfect. I've never heard anything better." It was weird, but I let it slide. Fast forward to this year. Miranda finally got pregnant, about 9 weeks ahead of me. At the same time, I was carrying twins, a boy and a girl. And guess what? The name obsession came back. Only this time it was worse. Every single time we saw her, she wanted to know the names. And when I didn't tell her, she started making snide remarks. She'd say things like, "Well, with twins you'll probably gain twice the weight and never lose it." Or at a family cookout, when someone congratulated us, she loudly joked, "Oh, Leah just got pregnant to steal my spotlight." That one really hurt, because everyone knew Jack and I had been trying for over a year. But I bit my tongue. Miranda thrives on drama, and I figured the best way to get under her skin was not to react. Still, after weeks of her pestering me about the twins' names, I started to suspect something. I turned to Jack and said, "Do you think Miranda wants the names so she can steal them first? I mean, she's due before me." At first he laughed, but then he paused. And slowly, he admitted it was possible. That's when I came up with an idea. Jack's father was turning 61, and we were hosting the birthday party at our house. The twins' nursery wasn't finished yet, but I decided to use it for my little experiment. I went online and designed custom wall decals with 2 fake names, Rose Arwen and Luke Mack's pretty names, but nowhere near our real choices. I went all the way through the checkout process, but stopped before paying. Instead, I printed the order confirmation page that clearly showed both names. The night before the party, I folded that paper and slipped it into the middle drawer of the nursery dresser. I made sure a corner was sticking out, just enough to tempt someone snooping. Jack thought I was crazy. He even bet me $23 that Miranda wouldn't snoop. So the party happened. We were busy hosting, greeting guests, refilling drinks. I didn't notice Miranda slipping off anywhere. The next morning, I checked the nursery. The paper was still there, right where I left it. I sighed. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Miranda wasn't Snoopy after all. But then something odd happened. The constant name interrogation stopped. For weeks, Miranda didn't ask me about baby names. Not once. After all the pestering, the sudden silence was suspicious. Then came the big reveal. Miranda gave birth a few weeks early. Jack and I went to the hospital to meet our new nephew. I smiled and asked, "So, what's his name?" She looked me dead in the eyes, smirked, and said proudly, "Luke Max," the exact name for my fake paper. I nearly burst out laughing right there, but instead, I played it cool. I gasped, clapped my hands, and went on and on about how beautiful the name was. I told her it was perfect, unique, and just wonderful. Her smug smile began to falter. She looked uncertain, then frustrated. Jack had to bite his lip to keep from laughing. Later, in the elevator, he handed me $23 in cash. Now, if the story ended there, it would already be delicious. But oh no, things got much, much worse. It turns out Miranda had been jealous of me from the start. She hated that Jack and I got engaged after only 9 months, that our wedding was big and beautiful, while hers was small, that Jack's grandmother immediately embraced me while never warming to her. At one point, she even drunkenly admitted she wished she had married Jack instead of Tony. Fast forward to the hospital scene, when Miranda blurted out, "Luke Max." Tony was stunned. He hadn't heard those names before and refused to sign the birth certificate. Eventually, they settled on Bruce Rocky. But Miranda grew distant. She was clearly disappointed the baby wasn't the daughter she'd fantasized about. She started spiraling emotionally, and her relationship with Tony cracked under pressure. Months later, Jack's mom accidentally discovered my little trap. She had seen the paper in the drawer that night at the party and realized what had happened. When the truth came out, Tony confronted Miranda. She broke down and admitted everything, that she snooped, that she planned to steal whatever name she found, and that she did it purely out of spite to hurt me. Tony was furious. They fought. Miranda refused to apologize, and eventually, she and Tony separated. The separation became a divorce. Miranda moved back in with her parents, then basically abandoned baby Bruce to go chase a new relationship. She missed visits, ignored calls, and eventually left the state altogether. Tony got custody. Jack's mom stepped up to help, and Bruce grew up surrounded by love and stability, with none of Miranda's chaos. So here's the thing. People sometimes ask me if I feel guilty about setting that trap, but the truth is Miranda exposed herself. I didn't ruin her life. Her own choices did. All I did was give her the rope, and she chose to hang herself with it. My family is now so much more peaceful without her drama. My twins are thriving. My oldest loves being a big brother, and Jack and I are exhausted but happy. As for Miranda, well, I don't know where she is anymore. And honestly, I don't care. Sometimes the best revenge is silence. And sometimes a simple little trap tells you everything you need to know about someone's true character. And that's how it all unfolded. A simple piece of paper with 2 fake names exposed everything Miranda really was. She thought she was clever, thought she could steal my moment and my children's names. But in the end, she only stole her own happiness. The truth is, people like Miranda will always reveal themselves when given the chance. You don't always have to fight back with anger or arguments. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is sit back, stay quiet, and let them dig their own grave. Do I regret setting the trap? Not for a second. It didn't ruin her life. Her own choices did. All I did was show her true colors to the world. And once she was exposed, there was no coming back from it. Today, my family is stronger, calmer, and finally free from her drama. My kids are healthy and happy, and I can finally focus on the people who matter, those who build me up instead of tearing me down. So if you've ever dealt with someone jealous, toxic, or manipulative, remember this. You don't need to stoop to their level. Sometimes, the quietest revenge is the loudest victory. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who could use a little reminder that karma always comes around. Stay strong, stay smart, and until next time, take care